From the moment Courtney Hadwin stepped onto the stage, it was clear that something unusual was unfolding. Not just talent, not just nerves. There was a strange contrast that immediately grabbed attention. A quiet, almost fragile teenager standing under blinding lights, seconds away from unleashing a voice that felt far older, far heavier, and far more powerful than anyone expected. People didn't just watch her. They leaned forward. They whispered. And long after the applause faded, they kept asking the same question. Who is Courtney Hadwin really? For years, fans sensed that there was more beneath the surface, more than the viral clips, more than the explosive performances, more than the shy smile that seemed at odds with the raw force she unleashed on stage. And now, after years of silence, subtle hints, and carefully chosen words, Courtney has finally confirmed what many suspected all along. Her journey wasn't just about talent. It was about control, pressure, freedom, and the quiet fight to become her own artist. To understand why her story resonates so deeply, you have to start with the stage that changed everything. America's Got Talent is one of those shows that feels larger than life. Loud, emotional, dramatic, sometimes chaotic, and always unpredictable. It's the kind of platform where dreams are made in minutes and expectations are born just as quickly. But behind the spectacle lies a carefully constructed machine designed to capture attention, stir emotion, and create moments that live forever online. The show first premiered in 2006, built on a simple but powerful idea: talent without limits. No single category, no age restriction, no defined mold. Singing, dancing, magic, comedy, stunts, anything that could shock or amaze an audience. That open-door philosophy turned the show into a global phenomenon, attracting performers from every corner of the world and transforming unknown acts into international names overnight. By the time Courtney Hadwin appeared on that stage in 2018, the show had already cemented its legacy. Viral moments were expected. Standing ovations were common. But what happened when Courtney sang felt different? It didn't feel engineered. It felt explosive and accidental, like lightning striking where no one thought it could. But Courtney's story didn't begin there. Long before massive audiences and viral fame, Courtney grew up in a quiet village in County Durham. Life there was simple, family-centered, grounded. She lived at home with her parents and siblings, surrounded by familiarity and routine. In school, she wasn't the loud kid or the attention seeker. Teachers and classmates noticed her for a different reason. She was painfully shy. Yet when she sang, everything changed. It was as if the microphone unlocked a different version of her. The hesitation disappeared. The nerves melted away. What emerged was a voice that carried weight, grit, and emotion far beyond her years. It confused people at first. How could someone so quiet off stage transform so completely once the music started? Recognizing that spark, her family supported her training. She attended theater schools, vocal workshops, and masterclasses, slowly building not just her technique, but her confidence. Even then, she wasn't chasing fame. She was learning how to express something she couldn't always put into words. Her earliest competitions came quietly. A local audition here, a school performance there. In 2015, she entered a singing competition and reached the final, impressive for someone so young, but still under the radar. Then a simple lunchtime performance at school went viral, spreading her voice far beyond the walls of the classroom. People who had never heard her name suddenly stopped scrolling. Momentum began to build. By the time she appeared on a televised singing competition for younger performers, her presence was already turning heads. She didn't just sing songs, she embodied them. Judges asked her to repeat performances just to watch her move again. Still, even as praise grew louder, Courtney remained reserved, almost cautious, as if she knew how fragile attention could be. Then came the moment that would redefine everything. When Courtney walked onto the America's Got Talent stage, she looked nervous. Her body language was closed. Her voice trembled when she spoke. Some viewers assumed they were about to watch another sweet but forgettable audition. What happened next shattered that assumption instantly. The music hit. In seconds, The shy teenager vanished. In her place stood a performer channeling raw, unfiltered energy. Her voice tore through the room, gritty and fearless. The audience erupted. The judges stared in disbelief. Comparisons to legendary performers followed almost immediately, and before the moment could even settle, the golden buzzer was pressed. That single action changed the trajectory of her life. The clip exploded online. Millions turned into tens of millions. Comments flooded in from around the world, many expressing the same disbelief. How could someone so young sound so experienced? How could such power come from such a small frame? But with viral fame comes scrutiny. As quickly as Courtney was celebrated, questions began to surface. Some viewers discovered her previous appearances on other competitions and accused the show of hiding her experience. Others debated whether she fit the image they expected from a winner. And then there was the controversy that had nothing to do with her voice at all. She wasn't American. For some viewers, this detail became a problem. They questioned why someone from outside the country could compete on a show with America in the title. Social media debates erupted. Arguments spiraled. But through it all, Courtney stayed quiet. She didn't argue. She didn't lash out. Instead, she focused on what she had always focused on, the music. That maturity, especially at such a young age, spoke volumes. As the competition progressed, expectations only grew heavier. After such a monumental audition, every subsequent performance was measured against perfection. Any moment that felt less explosive was labeled a decline. Any artistic risk was scrutinized. Fans dissected song choices, staging, and delivery. The narrative began to shift. When Courtney didn't win, the shock rippled through viewers. Some called it a robbery. Others analyzed her performances for reasons why the momentum seemed to stall. What became clear, though, was that early success can be a double-edged sword. When the bar is set impossibly high from the beginning, even excellence can look like failure by comparison. Yet, Courtney didn't disappear. Instead, she moved forward quietly, performing live, releasing music, and signing a major record deal that promised structure, support, and global reach. On paper, it looked like the next logical step. Big labels bring big opportunities, but they also bring expectations, committees, and creative boundaries. Behind the scenes, Courtney was learning a difficult lesson. That success doesn't always mean freedom. As she grew older, the disconnect became clearer. Writing sessions were scheduled, directions were given. Songs were judged not on honesty, but on whether they fit a commercial mold. For someone who had always sung from instinct, this felt constricting. She later admitted that she was expected to express emotions she hadn't yet lived, to sound like something she wasn't ready to be. Then everything changed. The label folded. Plans dissolved. The machine that once felt overwhelming quietly stepped away. And for the first time, Courtney was standing alone, not abandoned, but unrestrained. What followed was not a dramatic announcement or public fallout. It was something quieter and far more powerful. Independence. When Courtney began releasing music on her own terms, the shift was immediate. Her songs became more personal. The genres blurred. Rock, blues, soul, pop, punk, all blended into something that felt unmistakably hers. She wrote, she co-wrote, she decided when to release and how to present herself. And when a fan referenced her past industry ties, her response was simple and revealing. "This one is mine." That sentence confirmed what fans had suspected for years. Courtney Hadwin was no longer operating under anyone else's vision. She had reclaimed control. The music reflected it. Songs explored vulnerability, resilience, mental health, and identity without trying to be radio perfect. One track climbed the charts despite being independent, a rare achievement that validated her decision to step away from the traditional path. As her creative confidence grew, so did her sense of self. Performances became more assured, interviews more candid. She spoke openly about pressure, about learning the hard way, and about choosing longevity over instant validation. Financially, she continued to thrive. Television exposure, Live performances, streaming, and independent releases all contributed to her success. Estimates of her net worth placed her in an impressive position for someone so young, especially without the backing of a major label. More importantly, she was building something sustainable, not just a moment, but a career. Looking back, Courtney's journey doesn't fit neatly into the typical narrative of a child star turned pop product. It's messier, more honest, more human. She didn't rush to become what people expected. She waited, she learned, she stumbled, and then she chose herself. What stands out most isn't just her voice or her stage presence. It's her patience, her willingness to step away when something didn't feel right, her courage to say no when the industry assumed she'd say yes, and her ability to grow publicly without losing herself. Today, Courtney Hadwin is no longer defined by a single audition or a viral clip. She's defined by evolution, by independence, by the quiet confidence of an artist who finally holds the reins. And perhaps that's the real confirmation fans were waiting for all along. The shy girl with the explosive voice was never just a moment on television. She was always becoming something more, and now she's writing the next chapters entirely on her own terms. Her journey isn't over. In many ways, it's only just beginning.